If you're looking for a place where your children's imaginations can run wild, look no further than the Columbia Marionette Theater. It is a hidden gem in downtown Columbia. It's been here for decades, and today we're going to learn a little bit more about it. Today I'm here with artistic director Lion Hill. He's also a puppeteer and creates these amazing and fascinating puppets, and we're going to learn again more about them, and we're so excited to be here with you today.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure to have you.
And we're not alone. Obviously, we have some friends, so introduce us to them.
Sure. Everyone, this is Blueberry. Blueberry the fairy. She's our house fairy here. She greets so many of our audiences that come see us throughout the year. And this fellow over here is Jack Frost, the king of cool.
I love it. Well, tell us a little bit about these puppets. I know most times when you think of a marionette puppet, there's longer strings, but these are more of the handheld ones. So tell us the various types of puppets that you have here.
Sure. So these puppets right here, being operated on strings, are referred to as marionettes because we have so many different types of puppets in the puppetry world. You've got your hand puppets that you put your hand inside of to operate, rod puppets you hold onto a stick, and with marionettes, you've got strings. Now, that can be one string, that can be 24 strings, and they can be a few inches long or, you know, hundreds of feet long. I've seen huge puppets off the sides of buildings, huge marionettes.
Wow.
But when we perform on our main stage, it's true. The strings are not this short. You won't see the control bar. That's what the puppeteers are holding onto to bring the puppet to life. On our main stage, we're about 6 feet above the stage, standing on bridges. And so the puppets from the bottom of their feet all the way up to the control bar are 9.5 feet. And so the puppeteers are hidden throughout the performance. And you just see those marionettes walking around freely. On our large puppet stage, we have a 30-foot wide puppet stage. So we're a very big puppet theater. We've got our physical theater here down by Riverfront Park, where we host birthday parties, field trips come through to school groups, church groups, summer camp groups, and then we're open to the public every Saturday. And we also have another whole wing of our theater that takes shows to locations.
Really?
To elementary schools, festivals, churches, places like that. So we have a whole traveling show wing, and our executive director, John Scollin, heads that up and has a whole roster of puppet shows that go on the road.
Now, for a puppet this size, or this one, these are, again, smaller puppets, how long does it take to make?
I can work for several weeks making a single puppet for sure, and it can take even longer than that. Certain parts of the process just take days to dry even. You know, you kind of get frustrated. You say, oh, I've just put a coat of something on that and I really want to keep working on it, but I know that I'm just going to leave fingerprints. I got to leave it alone till tomorrow. So there's some parts of the process that you just can't even force to go more quickly. We have ways to streamline the process. I used to work with an involved mold making process, but anymore these days I get quicker results carving yoga foam blocks. That's my secret weapon, yoga blocks.
Really?
Those foam blocks, I don't know if I should let that information get out. But
wow.
yoga foam, we carve a lot of puppet heads and hands out of this foam, reinforce it with a coating, and I can skip this whole elaborate mold making process that used to take so long.
Wow, well that's where all the yoga foam blocks went.
I'm robbing them from the local shelves.
What would you say is something that people don't realize? You know, when you come to a show, you see the show, what are some things that goes into making a show that many people probably wouldn't even think to think of?
I think a lot of people might not realize, in our case, how physically demanding the show can be. We lean out as far as we can, reaching as far as we can to get that puppet in just the right spot, get it in the right light, and hold it up there, and oh my, isn't this a long scene, but you want it right there, you know.
Yeah.
Or certain things require us to run down off of the bridges and go climb under the stage and do a quick little bit, and then run back up on the bridge. So we're actually moving all around.
Wow.
And you don't get to stick with one character. You will start walking your puppet, and then you get as far as you can reach. You have to hand to the person on the other bridge who will take over. And so
Really?
Puppets get handed back and forth. Sometimes a puppeteer might end up, there's so many puppets on stage that you're operating 2 characters at once, actually having a conversation with yourself. And so it can be very hectic up there on the bridge, but we hope you don't think about that at all during the show.
How do you come up with these personalities for these puppets? Because, you know, I know you all have voiceovers for some of the work, some things you have done live. but coming up for the voices and the personalities, because they all seem to have their very own personalities and their distinct ways that they walk. How do you come up with that?
Well, I think you can be informed by interesting people in your own life. Everybody's got a few little funny voices in them, you know. So how, like, think about how you might talk to your pet or something like that.
Oh yeah,
you know?
or your kid.
Yeah, and those are things that you can tap. And so people, I find, a lot of times have like little characters that they already do, you know. And so we say, okay, well, let's build a puppet around that, you know. So. All different kinds of ways. And when we don't have that voice, we like to look outward and find other people who can come in the studio and record with us and really make that cast the way that we want it to be for a particular show.
Well, I'm going to hand you Jack here, and I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Let's see. How would we make Jack sound?
Okay. All right, here's Jack. Now, you'll notice right off the bat, he's got a lot more strings than our fairy right here, than Blueberry. I am Jack Frost, the king of cool. I'm the one who etches those designs on your window pane and frosts over your windshield when you're late for work.
That's appropriate. Very appropriate voice for this character. I love it. And I'm also intrigued with how oh, this comes off.
Yep.
How cool.
I can do a little dance.
He's a performer, I can tell right off the bat.
Oh, yes, that camera is mine. I'm hogging it.
Now, the way you're manipulating it, what's the name of this? What is that called?
This is our control bar.
A control bar.
Marionettes have a control bar up top. You know, when I was a kid, I thought, oh, are they tied to each finger of the strings?
Really?
You know, that sort of thing. But no, we've got a control bar up here. Every control bar is unique because each puppet is unique. We designed that control bar so it has all the strings so that that character can do the movements that they need to. So we have to think about what is that puppet going to be asked to do? Because with marionettes, if you say, oh, in the script it says, the puppet walks over and picks up this thing. Well, you better tell me, because we need to put some magnets in her hand or have something going on there. That puppet can't pick it up. So I have to know everything a puppet is going to do. And we build that into it. So in this case, this guy, I wanted him to be very slinky. So he's got some extra strings that other puppets may not have. He's got this little rotating disc right here, so I can make him just look over his shoulder, you know, looking at you with that sidelong glance. I think makes him extra shifty right
there. Very
there.
Ergonomic for your hands, too.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, I'm thinking about, I do a lot of things with my thumb or little triggers up here. And then this, so that he can kind of really get some dance moves going, because he did have a musical number like this. He can really dance along. You can do some different things here. You can kind of, yeah, like that sort of thing.
Jazz hands. Yeah, I love it.
So he's a lot of fun.
I love it. Anything else you want to add?
Well, thank you so much for getting us an opportunity to talk about our wonderful craft here. And I hope you enjoyed your visit into our magical castle.
Thanks, friend. Boom. Finger. Got it. Thank you so much.